how a Purana is defined. Sargascha, Pratisargascha, Vamsho Manvantaranicha, Vamshanucharitam Cheti, Puranam Panchalakshanam. There are 5 things that a Purana must talk about. Sargaha, that is creation of this universe. Pratisargaha, destruction of this universe. Vamshaha, the lineages of the rulers who had monopoly or who were ruling this whole country or this Bharata Desha and all the provinces around it. Vamshaha. Manvantaranicha. Manvantara is a very large time period. Each kalpa of Brahma has around 1000 Chaturyugas. There, the 1000 Chaturyugas, which is about one Chaturyuga is 43 lakh years in our calculations. So 1000 such Chaturyugas are one daytime for Brahma. There are 14 Manus who are in charge of these 1000 Chaturyugas. So the time period where each Manu is ruling is called a Manvantara. So these Puranas talk about the different Manvantaras that are present also. Finally, Vamsha Anucharitam Cheti. They talk about the stories of all the people who are in the lineages of great kings and sages. All these are documented. The creation of this universe, the destruction of this universe, the lineages of sages and kings who ruled this world, and how they faced many difficulties or how they uplifted themselves from the samsara. And finally, how are the Manvantaras divided? Who are the rishis? Who are the devatas? Who is supreme in each and every Manvantara? All this is explained in the Puranas. So these Puranas finally talk to us about Dharma and Tattvams. Dharma is what we must practice. Tattvam is the concept or the truth that we must understand. Both of these are inimitable around us. So these Puranas, who were they written by? We say that the Puranas were given by Lord Brahma. Yasmin kalpetu yat proktam Puranam Brahmana Pura. A verse says, Brahma used to preach these Puranas to his Sishyas, to all his disciples at various points of time. There are many kalpas. A kalpa is a cycle of Srishti. Srishti and Pralaya come one after the other. In this cycle, in each kalpa or at different points of time, Brahma used to narrate these Puranas. These Puranas were later collated and structured by Vedavyasa. So we say that Vedavyasa authored the Puranas also. We say Brahma authored the Puranas. They are both true. Brahma initially narrated the Puranas to his disciples. Yaspin kalpetu yat proktam Puranam Brahmana Pura. Then they were segregated. They were categorized by Vedavyasa. They were categorized into 3 groups. Sattvika Purana, Rajasa Purana and Tamasa Purana. We all know that there are 18 Puranas. In total, these 18 Puranas all together contain about 4 lakh shlokas. Ramayana has 24,000 shlokas. Mahabharata has 1,25,000 shlokas. These are the 2 itihasas. If you collect all the Puranas, it is much larger than the Mahabharata, 4 times larger than the Mahabharata. They have around 4 lakh shlokas. These 18 Puranas were divided into 3 categories. Sattvika Purana, Rajasa Purana and Tamasa Purana. I just now mentioned that Brahma used to narrate these Puranas to his disciples. Brahma will at different points of time have different gunas that overpower the other 2 gunas. We all have Sattva Guna, Rajo Guna and Tamo Guna. At one point of time, Sattva Guna will overpower the other 2 in the morning. Say Brahma Muhurtam, 4:30 to 6 or 6:30. Sattva Guna is very high. The other 2 are lower. In the afternoon, Rajo Guna is very high. Once it is 10 p.m. or 12 a.m. in midnight, Tamo Guna overpowers the other 2 and we have to sleep, we have to take rest now. Similarly, Brahma also is within the samsara. He too is bound by Sattva Guna, Rajo Guna and Tamo Guna. Therefore, at different points of time, when Brahma narrates these stories, he narrates some of them when Sattva Guna is on the rise. He narrated some of them when Rajo Guna overpowered the other 2 gunas. He narrated a few of them, say 6 of them, when Tamo Guna was at its peak. So Sattvika Purana are those Puranas which were narrated by Brahma when Sattva Guna was at its peak. Similarly, Rajasa and Tamasa. 6 Puranas are said to be Sattvika Puranas. Vishnu Purana, Bhagavata Purana, Narada Purana, Garuda Purana, Padma Purana, Varaha Purana. These are the 6 Sattvika Puranas. Then Rajasa Puranas are Brahma, Brahmanda, Brahma Vaivarta, Markandeya, Vamana, Bhavishya Purana. These 6 are said to be Rajasa Puranas. Then Tamasa Puranas are Matsya, Kurma, Linga, Shiva, Skanda, Agni. These 6 Puranas are said to be Tamasa Puranas. So Sattvika Puranas are narrated when Sattva Guna is very high for Brahma. When Sattva Guna is high, our knowledge is very clear. We are not confused about anything. So the Sattvika Puranas can be taken to be most close to truth. They are the closest to truth that is possible. The Rajasa Puranas are narrated when Brahma has a lot of Rajoguna. Rajoguna itself kindles desire within us. So it might be that Brahma had narrated these with some ulterior motives also. So they have to be taken with a pinch of salt. You cannot take Rajasa Puranas to be completely true factually and historically. Then Tamasa Puranas were narrated by him when he himself was lazy or he himself was drowsy. The Tamoguna causes drowsiness and laziness or lack of caution. So Tamasa Puranas have to be studied carefully. Only those aspects which are not contradictory to the Sattvika and Rajasa Puranas can be taken to be true. Others where I contradict myself when I am awake, I will say that I am 6 feet high. Then when I am sleeping, if I am very drowsy and someone wakes me and forces me to answer a question, how tall are you? I might even say I am 8 feet high. I am 4 feet high. I can say anything. Those words that are uttered when I am lazy or drowsy have to be carefully taken so that they are not contradictory to others. Only those things which are not contradictory to other words which were uttered by me when I was awake can be taken to be the truth. Therefore, Sattvika Puranas, Rajasa Puranas and Tamasa Puranas were segregated by Vedavyasa and structured saying these are the Puranas that fall in these categories. Now, what is a Purana? We have seen how the Puranas are significant to us because they give us values and they give us the basic conduct which will make us a good person and take us on the right path towards spiritual enlightenment. The Sanatana Dharma aims at spiritual enlightenment, but through holistic development of our lives. Our body has to be sound, our mind has to be calm, we have to have wealth and we should be able to protect it. We must know how to think logically, we must know how to analyze a text, and using these faculties, we have to read the Itihasa and Purana and then know what values we should inculcate in ourselves, and then read the Upanishads and the Vedas so that we know what Dharma is and who Paramatma is. This is the whole path that Sanatana Dharma has formed for us. So the Puranas are very important and they are relevant even today because the concepts or the facts that they talk about are very much true even today. When will something be false or irrelevant? When the subject that a text talks about is no more in use or it is no more true, then the text is also useless. Someone, say 500 years ago, a scientist wrote that the atom was like, there are many models for the atom. It was not known that the atom has divisible parts within it like the proton and the electron. Earlier, the atom was considered to be indivisible. A textbook was written, say, hundreds of years ago saying atom was indivisible. Today, is that textbook valid? It is no more valid because the concept or the object that was explained in that text has been understood even more deeply and the concept itself has changed now. So this is not valid anymore. But the Puranas will never become invalid because they talk about eternal truths. They talk about the Jivatma, they talk about Paramatma, they talk about Mukti, they talk about Dharma, Papa and Punya. All these are eternal truths which will never go out of vogue or which will never become useless. Therefore, the Puranas also bear relevance today. So even today, these Puranas bear significance because when we read them, we will learn so many things, intricacies and important significant aspects of our Dharma. Similarly, when we read about the Puranas, they talk about different avatars of Bhagavan. They talk about creation, destruction and all these. Bhagavan is also an eternal entity. He is always very sweet to learn about. Bhagavan has a name in Tamil, Aravamudan, Arada. he never goes cold. A porridge or a soup can be taken only when it is hot. It should not be boiling hot. It should not become stale also or cold also. It should be at the right temperature. Similarly, this Bhagavan, how much ever you enjoy him, how much ever you learn about him, he never becomes stale. He never becomes boring. He is always so exciting to learn about. So Bhagavan is also Aravamudan. Dharma is also Sanatana, eternal Dharma. Therefore, the Puranas that talk about these two are also eternal and also always exciting. The word Purana itself means Pura api navam Puranam. Pura, it is very old, it is ancient. Api, even then, yet, navam, it is very new. How can something very old be very new? When it gives you new experiences each and every time you learn about it. It is knowledge that we have now lost and we are trying to regain by reading the Puranas. We want to know about Paramatma. We want to know about the Jivatma and this samsara, how to get away from the samsara, how we can perform dharma and help others in this world also while concentrating on our own spiritual enlightenment. All this is talked about in the Puranas. So, Pura api navam, even though they are very old, they are applicable even today. They are relevant even today. In fact, they are most relevant even today. I would say that more than mathematics or chemistry or biology, these Puranas and the stories, the values that they teach us are most important. This is because they explicitly or clearly describe to us how to know about Paramatma, what to know about him, and how to practice dharma. We should know what are the exceptions. We should know when it is okay to do some harm, when it is never okay to do harm, whether self-defense is agreed to, or whether when someone is going against dharma, is it okay to censure them or is it okay to punish them? All this has to be known. This is not there in the Vedas. The Vedas just say, do not harm any creature. To know the intricacies of this dharma, we have to go through the Puranas, the Dharma Shastras, the Itihasas, so that we learn about more and more instances, the lives of people who practiced ahimsa, and through that we will be able to know how we can also practice ahimsa in our life. Therefore, the Puranas are most important even in this day and age.